Let me bring Elia. It's beautiful. Can you hear
Thank
me?
you. Yes, I hear you.
Yes, yes. Wow, that was wonderful. So tell us a little bit about what we just saw.
That's the first movement of my Altered Mind of 2020 string quartet project.
Yeah. So now the music was composed first, or the video was composed after music?
No, this is a dream project, so music first.
Music first.
Music first.
Yeah.
And while I was composing and writing music, it came in my mind, and especially in dreams, different pictures, different shots from Prague. So I woke up in the morning, I wrote it down. So in the end, I have a whole list of things I want to have it there, especially the ending of the whole first movement was very precise dreams. And then we find some footage in Prague, something shot, and so this is the first movement.
Wonderful. So the whole thing is how long?
It's gonna be in the end about 25, 27 minutes, 3 movements.
Yeah,
And
great.
I'm writing now, finishing the writing the third movement, the last one.
So who are these string quartet players?
That's a really good group called Epoch Quartet in Prague. Wonderful musicians, and they play everything from contemporary to classical music. Because I was so lucky to find them. I don't think the string quartet they play just Beethoven and Mozart would be able to play it, because also they play to the click, because there's a lot of electronica. So they need to play it in click, and they be very precise.
Yeah, wonderful, wonderful. So thank you, welcome, Elia. Let me read your biography in a short version to our audience. We have some people already waiting for us. Yeah. So born in Czechoslovakia, Elia Cmiral is the son of an actress and theater director. He attended Prague Music Conservatory and majored in composition and double bass. In the early 80s, he moved to Sweden, where he wrote several scores for European films, TV, and ballets. In 1989, he attended a USC's scoring program and wrote music for the American feature film Apartment Zero. In the 80s, Elia moved to the US, scored the first season of the TV series called Nash Bridges and John Frankenheimer's suspense thrill Robin. The latter earned him the Movieline Young Hollywood Award for Best Soundtrack, International Film Music Critics Award for Breakthrough Film Composers of the Year, and was nominated for the Best Original Score for an action film. So there's more. You can read Elia's biography in the description below this chat. So welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yes. So I always like to find out my guests. Oh, by the way, I am Ching Juhl. I've been hosting the a conversation with a special person or a special group since the pandemic, which is March 27th. So today, Elia, you made the 72 episode of my talk.
Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you. So I always like to ask my guests, like where, how you got into music, like what is your background? Tell us about it, please.
Well, first of all, I've been surrounded by theater, music. My grandfather was a professor at Music Conservatory. He was, as a matter of fact, he was a pupil of Antonin Dvořák. My mom, actress, my uncle, painter. So that was sort of natural thing for me. And I start to write, play. I play guitar, learn by myself, and in backyard with my friend we played the Beatles songs and try to impress local folks. And then I start to play in a rock band, play bass guitar, and from bass it went to double bass and composition and music conservatory. So just shortcut.
Yeah. So now how does one become a composer? Like, I don't write music for myself. I am a violist. I play other people's work, and I cannot really relate to that. So tell us a little bit about how does one become a composer?
Jing, this is a difficult question. Excuse me. My computer is dying. So before it dies,
What? Your computer's dying?
Yeah, not anymore. Not anymore.
Okay.
It got juice. Well, frankly, that's maybe the reason why I don't teach at any institution in school, because I really don't know how to do it. It just idea comes. Sometimes it's very precise. Sometimes it's just very just a form, almost like a crossword. You have like when you fill everything around, and then you got the answer. So the similar thing. I mean, it's very difficult to describe the process of I'm writing, I'm not writing. I walk in the park, I walk on the beach, and I go to the gym, and I processing the ideas at the same time.
Yeah. Our audience, Nick Rivera says, what a powerful poignant piece. I could see and hear the hustle and bustle of a city as it used to be before the pandemic. Thank you.
Thank you, Nick.
Thank you, Nick. Yeah, Nick is my young and hardcore young and friend. And yeah, thank you. So yeah, now could we play one of your more of your excerpts, and then we'll talk about, or you
Sure.
can tell us what we're going to listen to it. So oh yeah, so you are a composer mainly. I would say you're a film composer or television composer. So so tell us a little difference between a so-called classical composer and a composer who writes for film and TV. Do
Well,
you have to compromise yourself?
well, we have Ching, we have only 1 hour. This is a very long discussion. But
Yes.
just just remind you one thing. I started as a songwriter and playing guitar and playing in a rock band. Then at conservatory I start to write so-called classical music. Prague Conservatory in time when I attended, I was still it was Czechoslovakia, and all professors they were common. It was communist era, so my classical education is relatively poor, uh, and I. But what was my passion this time to write for theater? uh, Theater, because my father was stage theater, so I started to write. My first music was for Cyrano de Bergerac, and I sat in the audience, and I was like amazed how this little music, what it does on the stage, and that's probably I started went from there from theater music to film music, and a lot of years I just wrote a lot of film music and forgot actually that I can write also music without film. And it was some signal or call that I said, well, I don't need I don't need a picture anymore. I'm strong enough to write and believe it in what I'm writing.
Mhm.
So I started to write of some chamber music. But besides music, I always wrote poetry. I wrote stories. I always was writing something.
Mm, mm.
And but I didn't have maybe courage to go directly and hey, here's my symphony here or something. Because when we look at back music history,
Mhm.
so much good music was written. I mean, it's like you walk into the history and look at all the Stravinsky, Beethoven, Mozart, Ligeti, and all these wonderful people, and you have to have very strong belief in yourself. So just recent years, I start to write also without films.
Mhm. Great. So, shall we play something?
What do you
You
want to play? What do you have on your list?
Let's see. Oh, we have. Gosh, we have a lot of things from
Yeah.
Jukebox. From should we? No, you tell me. So let's see. We have the Chamber Suites,
No,
Apartment Zero. You want to play that?
no. Yeah.
Okay.
Can you
You tell me.
play?
You
Uh,
tell me.
how about you play something very different, calming, from the first piece? Uh,
Okay. Okay. You
uh,
tell me.
from Atlas Shrugged. Can you? That
Hold on
was
one.
not in a Dropbox. It was the
Oh, okay. So let me go into our sharing, and then there, and then this, and then okay. So tell me which one, please.
Atlas Shrugged was a theme from Atlas Shrugged. That was not from YouTube.
Oh yeah, oh that's right. I see that. Okay, that's right. Okay. All right. So okay. Beautiful. That was beautiful. Yeah. That was
Thank you.
beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about this. This is I hear piano music. I hear orchestration. Um. So tell us a little bit about this soundtrack, uh, and about the story.
That's the it's a theme and music for Atlas Shrugged, a film trilogy based on Ayn Rand book, the same name, and uh, I don't know what to say.
Hmm.
Yeah, it is. It is a orchestra, very classical writing, very classical theme, classical ensemble, classical piano. There is nothing like in the first piece we played. It's very different, and I love to work with this project. It was very different. Uh, Wonderful producers, they supported me. Uh, this piece actually has a little funny history because it was written outside of the movie. I was so inspired when I was the first part. I was so inspired by the whole support and reading Ayn Rand books. They One day I sat at the piano, I start to play and write this theme, which was not for the movie, and I played it for a producer. They loved it, and it became Atlas Rock theme.
Wow. So, so technically, for instance, a film like that, do the producers or directors show you the footage and say, write something about this? This, I need music in here. How does that whole thing work?
Well, it's I would say in all my entire career, maybe happened once or twice when movie was not done yet, whole full movie. But I always get a movie which is already done, edited, finished, uh, and often there is also a so-called temp track, temporary track. So there's some music. They put it to the film. They think it helps the editing and helps the follow the mood of the movie. And then I have to find a way around it, so not to copy the temp track, but at the same time keep the mood if the mood is good, and that's not always the case. I hear sometimes music in the movie, and I'm asking, what is this music here doing? I mean, what? And they sometimes I hear the answer, well, we didn't have anything else, so we just put something there. and and I'm like, well, isn't it
You're filling in.
yeah, isn't it better to just don't put anything? I also I once or twice I got a request from producer or director, can you make the love scene more hot? And I'm like thinking, well, should you shoot it more hot? Or it's like it's absurd to
Yeah.
those kind of requests, or make a fight scene more
More hard.
dangerous.
Yeah.
Well, if they barely can move and barely can hit each other, so how can I make it more dangerous with music? I can uh, there's a almost I'm on a border to put finger on the movie is not really following correctly the story, because if you put a, let's say if you have a love scene and you have put really beautiful hot music and the scene is not like that, you don't helping the movie, you almost pointing finger on it. It's actually the music carries the scene too
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
So you have to fit uh, into the movie. We are serving as a film composer. We are serving the film.
Yeah.
That's the main
Mm.
main reason for the of the film music. So we have to forget the egos and our opinions and just zip. But
Which you're good at that, right? You came from a communist country. I
well,
came from communist country. So let's talk about communist country, okay?
well, the the problem is you left and I left too because
Right.
I couldn't do this zip.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I just couldn't stand to be told all the time and uh, to have a career, but you have to accept certain way how to work, how to act.
Yeah.
So for me, it's a little bit difficult to zip. And here's
Yeah.
the interesting thing:
Yeah.
if the filmmakers, and
Yeah.
I was very lucky to work with some of them, uh, if they are really good and they understand, they take my criticism uh, as a part of creative process, and that's
Mm-hmm.
great.
Mm-hmm.
And I was very lucky to
Mm.
work with people like that.
Yeah.
So I never actually experienced like, no, you just do whatever I want to. No, it
Mm-hmm.
never happened. I
You're
always
right.
I was always been able
Mm-hmm.
to express myself and give them opinion. We can do this way. We can do this way, and this is what will happen. Uh,
Right.
so
Right.
I was lucky this way.
So tell us a little bit about where are you right now? I'm in New York City in Manhattan and you are in.
Los Angeles,
Yeah.
the Golden State.
Yes, great. Los Angeles, right. So we can utilize this technology to communicate with each other and to reach our audience. It's pretty amazing, you know.
It is amazing.
It's considered the pandemic is affecting all of us, and so now the pandemic since March, New York City has been locked down, and now recently it's not getting any better. So I'm not going out much. How is situation in Los Angeles in your area?
Uh, I follow very little or try very little because it's just depressing.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
I don't understand how this is possible that Los Angeles has such a California has such a high numbers and numbers go up. I
Mm.
just don't go. I don't know why. And we are not even 2 weeks after Thanksgiving. It's gonna be another race up with numbers. So I don't get it why
Mm.
it's like that. So um, I don't go so much out. My gym is closed. Coffee shops are closed. So I go a little bit. I take walks and I go hikes and then. But I don't have a problem with the social distance because
You social distance anyway with the
I,
other people.
for last 150 years I'm alone here most of the time. Uh,
Yeah,
and I used to be fun when I went out and I did recording and meet musicians
yeah,
and mixing. But
yeah,
now last time I was mixing with my friend Jim, we started with mask, worried to get close to each other. I mean, it's
yeah,
like it's just not easy. Really.
yeah. It is not easy. So, yeah, I don't know. Let's do another excerpt.
Which one?
Let's, yeah, which one? You tell me.
So we had some the altered mind, very contemporary. Actually, I would like to add little things into it because I am writing the second and third movement,
Mhm.
and hope the beginning of the year or next year I will be recording in Prague
Yeah,
those second and third movement.
yeah,
I got tremendous help with the management in Prague, Soundsgate. They organized the recording. They will organize the next recording, and then I will shoot the video, the footage for the second and third movement in Prague.
Mhm.
So it's going to be one long piece, almost 1 hour, half an hour short movie.
Mhm.
Uh, and So then we play the very traditional class Shrugged. So how about we can play what we can play? My big project with Maestro Zamfir. That's the Maestro Zamfir is the virtuoso on the pan flute. Um,
Mhm.
and I scored one short movie a couple of years ago. I asked him to play solo. We became very close
Mhm.
friends,
Yeah.
and I was so inspired by, of course, his sound, his performance, his personality. I visit him twice in Bucharest, and I got so inspired. So I wrote two orchestra suites. One has a name, "The Six Stories from the Enchanted Garden," and the other one you have two demos there. But he play actually on demos. He play himself, and I hope with the help of my friends in management in Prague, we can put together uh, support, economical support, and record it with the real orchestra and release album. And that's a very dear project to me. Uh, you have the first movement, cause I don't know what you have. It first movement uh,
Um, are you
in
talking? Are you
in
talking about
Dropbox.
a drop? Are you talking
Dropbox.
about a Dropbox?
Yes, Dropbox.
Let me see, because I don't right now. I don't see my Dropbox title. It just says Dropbox. Okay, so I have one here. Is
That's
Suite First Movement 3? Is that okay?
that's the one. Yes.
Okay, I just stumbled right. Okay, let's see there. How do I open this? Okay, here. Beautiful, beautiful. Wow,
Thank you.
beautiful. Yeah. Let me move this out of our way. Okay, great. Yes. So tell us a little bit about this collaboration. Why pan flute?
Well, uh, many reasons. First of all, like I said, I was very inspired by our immediate connection when I wrote a score for a short movie Lacrimosa in Austria, and we talked a couple of times on the phone, and we felt both that we are very some magical connection happened. At the same time, I was emotional, emotionally strongly engaged, and so this magic of three people came very close. Just that's a result of uh, of this suite. The suite has a five movements, and for big orchestra, some electronics, and for pan flute. I think the pan flute sound is totally a magical sound, and Maestro Zamfir, it's a master, probably the best player in the world on this instrument. And surprisingly, there is no in the music literature there's no piece like that. Usually, pan flute players they play besides on the street. You see it everywhere on Manhattan and Prague.
Mm,
Everywhere they play uh, on pan flute, folk musicians, but they play arrangements or adaptations from sometimes classical music, sometimes folk music, but there's no original piece written for orchestra and for pan flute. And of
mm,
course, because of my relationship with Maestro Zamfir, uh, that was obvious. I mean, I was emotionally, and I am still emotionally very engaged uh, with him, with how it started.
mm,
Um, so I wrote this suite, and then I got in contact with a couple of recording company. They said all of them. They said, "Wow, album with Zamfir. We want to release it, but you have to record it by yourself."
mm,
they they don't support a recording from the beginning.
mm.
So what we've heard is actually a demo. It's not a real recording yet, and I hope that with help of my management in Prague, sounds good that we can record it in Prague and also organize a concert in October to play it his the suites and his
Mm,
repertoire.
mhm.
So
Yeah,
that's a second very dear project I want to really do.
great. So, I wanted to tell us, our audience, thank you so much for joining us. And for those of you, if you have not subscribed to Juhl Media, please do subscribe my YouTube channel. And Diane Pagan, my friend, made lots of comments. So sweet. She said, Elia, where is a place that gives you inspiration? Is LA inspire you, or is that to be close to the film industry? She asked a question.
Uh, Very difficult question. Uh, uh, I don't know. I don't know if I can say LA is inspiring. I think, especially nowadays, you can be writing music anywhere in the world. You don't need to be in LA. Uh, uh, but Diane, I don't know what to say. Inspiration, I found it mainly in myself. If I if I write for the film, uh, I tend to fall in love with the movie. I love it. I live the life of heroes, they tragedy and they loves, and I, I have dreams about it. So that's my maybe inspiration. I don't know, maybe.
So how did you move? Like, what can you tell us a short version of you came from Czechoslovakia and then came to this country and landed in Los Angeles?
And you want a short version? Okay.
Is that how it goes?
Well, yeah, we can try short version. So uh, after I left Czechoslovakia, I went to Sweden. So I lived many years in Sweden, and I started basically my from the scratch. I learned to learn Swedish, of course, um, and start to play different groups and in theater and so on. And in the end, I received a couple of awards from Stockholm and Swedish Culture Board for my contributions to Swedish music culture. And the last one I received was for studying in United States. So I applied for a couple of schools. I was admitted to all of them. One of them was actually Manhattan School of Music, and but I thought I mean I would love to go to New York, but I thought like after so many years in Sweden, it's so cold in New York in winter. So
Mm,
let's go to California.
mm,
I didn't have any idea because no information. After I finished school and did Apartment Zero movie, I got another award in Sweden to produce my own album. So I went back to Sweden. And after I finished the album Ultima Thule Suite, uh, I got a lot of work because of coming from here. And but suddenly the pond was too small, so I moved back, and
yeah.
I'm still here.
Yeah. So, yeah, great. Speaking of Manhattan School of Music, I live like, like 5 minutes walk from Manhattan School of Music, very close. So anyway, wonderful. So there's another friend of us house made a comment says, "Have you ever have you ever told wait have you ever told you what is that
Have
you
you
look
ever?
like Steven Spielberg?" Do you see that comment? Like
Uh,
he thinks
no,
you
no,
look
not
like Steven
really. Not like Steven Spielberg. That's a nice compliment. Thank you so much. But people told me I look a little bit like Liam Neeson.
Oh yes, you are a little bit. You know the cover page, the black and white photo you sent to me. That one is yeah, like very much like him. Yeah, yeah.
Right. So
So it's interesting. We have another friend of either yours or mine says, any chance music orchestra rise again in the future like Mozart slash Beethoven period?
uh, I am not musicologist, and I cannot really predict. But I think we live in a slightly different period,
Mhm.
and I think a lot of music is actually hybrid today, mixed with electronica. There are some beautiful contemporary music. Uh, I don't listen so much actually. I wish I have more time,
Mhm.
but Mozart, Beethoven, I don't think so. Uh,
That's sad.
that's very, that's very, that's, but that's what it, that's, that's a evolution, right?
Uh-huh.
I guess.
Yeah. So now there's one thing I don't really understand is that how does one write music for video game? Tell us a little bit.
Well, I'm not really sure again. I I have only two experiences. I did one Last Express many years ago, and then I did Spec Ops: The Line a couple of years back. Um in both cases, actually, I love it because I was not tied uh, with the timing the same way like I'm in film music. Film music, I have to follow the film sequence. The time of the music starts and end.
Yeah,
It's there. I cannot change it. Even if I have another genius ideas how to continue writing, there's no way.
yeah,
But
yeah,
in video games, it was much more free artistically, and I wish
mm,
I do more of it.
mm,
They just told me we need 2 minutes action with
mhm,
three layers. So
yeah,
if it was 1 minute 53 or 1 minute 40, it doesn't really matter because they loop it anyway.
yeah,
So that was, and I was lucky with a very creative director. Uh, so love it. It was great, but
yeah,
big difference from the writing film score. Also takes much longer time
mm,
because a lot of small pieces. There are a lot of good music I've heard
mhm.
for video
All
games.
right. So when you write music, when you first start to study composition, um, I have a feeling you probably write with a pen and staffs.
Yeah.
Now it's all software. So are you very techy?
Well, to certain degree, I have to be, but when it's a little bit more deeper, I need help of my assistants. And the first score I wrote without pencil was actually Ronin, and the reason was very simple. The studio MGM required full demo for every single cue. And we are talking about 75 minutes score. So I was thinking I already had studio, uh, MIDI studio, but I was thinking if I write it with pen, how do I do the demos? How somebody has to help me, or I was very green. So I learned to I forget piano and go to the computer and wrote directly to the computer.
Mm, yeah. So when writing music, are you an Apple person or are you a PC person?
Of course, Apple.
Apple. So what is the program these days for composer like you? Like what kind of program do you use? May I ask?
Yeah, sure. I'm using Digital Performer. I'm using Digital Performer since USC, and it was the first serious sequencer. And today, there are a couple of another programs. They are pretty much equal, both in uh, both how they are built and what you can do. You can have MIDI, you can have digital. They are pretty much similar. So whatever you like. If you like Logic, you go Logic. DP Digital Performer, I would say it's less gives you well, it's more wide open program. Uh, I did electronic music, purely sound design, very classical, like Atlas Shrugged,
Mm,
very contemporary as a alternate mind. So it's more wide open.
mm,
Depends on what music you wanna write. I felt some programs almost felt like there's a certain way how program is built to. But I'm not sure if what I'm saying if it's really true.
mm-hmm. Okay, I hear a little bit of funny noise when you are talking, like something is against your speaker.
I see. I
Yeah,
see.
I was wondering if you can fix that. So,
You
like
know,
maybe make this
oh,
microphone go lower. It's
yeah,
not rubbing anything else. Yeah. All
yeah,
right, dear.
maybe.
So
Okay.
how about could we play? Should we play something else? Play
Yeah.
another YouTube thing?
Okay. How about to play some? How about Hannah Killed Bobby. That's a good title. That's a
Okay.
YouTube
You
title.
too. Let me see. Hanabi. Yeah, Hanabi Bobby Sweet number 3, right?
Yeah.
Sweet 3. Okay. All right. I found that. So you want to tell us before we start?
It's a score. Now hold on. This you have a Haberman. That's not the one.
Oh, it's not Hammer. Oh, okay. Sorry.
No.
Okay. Well, let me get out of here. Okay. Let's go back.
It is also from YouTube.
Yeah. So let me go back. So I hit. Okay. So what would you like me to
Hannah
say it again?
Hannah
Huh?
kills Bobby.
I have a Haberman Suite. No, not Haberman Suite. Uh, Hannah. Hannah kills Bobby. Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Hannah. Okay. So is this right? Yeah.
Yes, that's the right.
Okay. So tell us, what is it,
That's a
please?
one. That's a one track from a very cool movie called Wicked Blood. I did it with the director Mark Young. I scored his 5 or 6 movies already. Became very close. We don't even need to talk. We just do it.
Great. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Let me turn this off. Okay. Come back. So, I have a question in terms of film music, Elia. Now, a lot of time when you watch a film, right, you hear music at certain point is to enhance the dynamics of the situation. Either is very sad or very exciting, or push to some kind of climax. Yeah. But then a lot of time I also notice a lot of films, including documentaries, they always layer a, a soundtrack in sort of a not very important time, but they just layer there, just like make it sort of just make it like happening. Can you tell me why?
That's another difficult question. I don't know.
It's like sometimes I hear
Yeah,
these layers, like why
I
always have
I
to have layers?
I have no idea. I think my music approach, film music approach, if you don't need music there, don't put it there, because if the actors are good, the acting is great, scenographic camera is great, why to help something which doesn't need help? uh, so I am against actually, uh, with one dubbing, the engineer told me the music was actually too loud for me,
Mm.
and I sat on the dubbing stage, and I told director and producer, how about to have a little bit less music? And they look at me like, composer asking for less music? That that's a joke, because usually I compose more music. We don't need to hear dialogue, just music.
Yeah.
But I feel that I'm serving the film. I'm helping the film. I'm helping the director to fulfill his vision of if music is too loud, stepping on dialogue and carrying away from the story, less, just help the proper the scene and move movie forward, rather
Mhm.
than disturbing it.
Mm.
So yeah, I notice also, especially in TV, a lot of music, you don't need it.
Mm.
You don't need
Mm.
it. But,
Interesting. Yeah. Interesting. Wow. So, so tell us your current project, please.
well, there are few. We already talk about two of them. One is the Altered Mind,
Yeah. Yeah.
which needs to be, hopefully I will be shooting
Mm-hmm.
in the spring. Project with Maestro Zamfir, two suites, release album.
Mm-hmm.
That's the second one. Both in Prague, working with Soundsgate management. Another project which is really, I want to do it. It's a multimedia project called Noel, the Ballet Rhapsody. It's a it's a story about. It's a multimedia project, obviously.
Mm. Mm.
So projection, ballet, music, and it's inspired by Stephen Hawking open letter to governments, warning for development of artificial intelligence.
Mm.
So that's a very deep project. I We got the answer question here, Diane.
Yeah.
Who is a favorite writer of yours? You mean writer, music composer, or writer? It's not clear from the question. Uh, I guess composer. Uh,
Any language, I guess. A writer.
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 Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I read book. I read a lot of books all the time, and I read in three languages: English, obviously, Czech, and Swedish. Uh, um, Favorite. Well, maybe I can say John Irving. I have all his books. I love his books uh, because they are very entertaining, and at the same time, there's a substance. Love all of them. Another one, Japanese Murakami. Also have all his books. Czech writer Vaculík. Um, oh, that's what comes to my mind now.
So is a Swedish language and the Czech language, they're like totally different?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
completely,
yeah,
completely.
yeah.
Swedish is combination of English and German. Yeah,
Oh,
and Czech, of course, it's Czech is a Slavic language, while Swedish it's Germanic. So,
I see.
so
Wow.
it's far,
Uh-huh.
but you can learn anything
Mhm.
if you have to.
Yes. So now you're working. So what do you see yourself in 5 years? What is your future project?
Well, I have those three, and I have one more, and that's the music visual installation called Circle 2224, the unfinished journey, and it's about us, about 24 hours a day,
Mm.
uh, uh, 20 a year. That's I don't know. 5 years from now, that's too so far. I don't know. I I I want to finish. I want to finish all these projects next year, uh, and then I have. I talked to a couple of people in Prague for possible other collaborations. Would be lovely to have some cool movie, really good with substance.
Mhm.
Uh, doesn't need to be action. Can be thriller, drama, anything. I mean, I love to write, so I write. That's what I want to. Yeah, that's a good answer. In 5 years from now, I still want to write.
Now, in terms of Prague, I it's so beautiful. It's such a beautiful city. The layout, the oldness, the just the old and the new. New is the people is very new, and the architecture is old, and then the river and the bridge and in the hill and everything. So beautiful. So tell me a little bit about what's going on right now. Is Prague also in this shithole of COVID?
Yes, it is. But surprisingly, it's actually better in Prague, even if it's so tight with the people. It's like Manhattan. It's better numbers than in California, which I don't understand. Uh, but they were very good in rules and masks already in June, May and June. They were really, really, really good. But then came summer, and of course, European people, they have to travel. They have to have their vacations. So
Yeah.
they brought it back.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
That's how it is in Europe.
Yeah.
Summer it has to be. They have to go to Italy. They have to go to Greece, and
Yeah.
so they brought it back. But they are still better than in California. So
Yeah.
it's everywhere.
Right. Right. So the music scene in Prague and art scene is always very thrive, right? Very
Yes. Mhm.
lots going on, right?
Yes, there are many theaters, there are many concert halls, and
Yeah.
but unfortunately, everything is closed now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's basically the same situation. What would we do with the National Theatre and what do we do with Disney Hall? I mean, just
Uh-huh.
the same questions.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we just hope there's a light. There's a
Yeah.
somewhere in the
I know.
darkness.
Yeah, it's such a beautiful place. We stayed
Yeah.
very much near the Charles Bridge and would go on there in the middle of the night or daytime, and just so
Mhm.
much going on. Anyway, so you have a person, Petro. Probably you know this person, Petro. Thank you. You like my laugh. I laugh. My mother used to when I laugh. My mother says, "Stop it! Don't do that." Now I'm just by myself, so I can laugh at anything. So funny, Elliot. What about your personal life? You don't have to answer, okay?
Oh, hi, Peter. Hi, Peter.
Peter, you know him, right?
Oh, of course, I know Peter. He's a great guy, great composer, great musician. Uh, Personal life, Peter. You know what? Let's talk about it when I came to Prague. That's and I need a couple of schnapps to get through it.
Schnapps. Yeah. So, shall we play one more thing? And before we end our thing, I'm gonna do a rapid fire with you quickly.
Okay.
Do we miss anything else? Shall we play something else? Oh, we're good.
I don't know what we have to play.
Yeah.
Oh, the one you had, the Haberman, is pretty cool.
Oh, the harbor thing. Okay, let me go.
That,
Let me go
that's
find it.
that's the one cue from a
Okay.
Czech movie.
Oh
I
yeah,
did,
it's called the Haberman Suite Number Three.
yeah, I did it with uh, iconic director Uri
Yeah.
Hertz
Yeah.
in Prague. Was a very wonderful collaboration with him.
Oh, okay.
Czech German movie.
Okay. Wonderful.
That was a rearrangement of the big orchestra score for piano trio. And this particular track, it's called Execution. Uh, so
Yeah. Very nice with the different instrumentation. Thank you so much. So, all right, great. So, thank you guys for joining us. We have quite a few audience there still, and please subscribe Juhl Media YouTube channel, and also Elia, do you have a YouTube channel?
I don't
You
actually.
don't.
I have, but nothing in it.
But if you just Google Elia on YouTube, you actually find lots of music of his is generated by YouTube. Actually, it's
Right.
called so and so top. The whatever the subject is. So Elia has that. All right, great. So shall we do rapid fire?
Absolutely.
Great, rapid fire. Rapid fire is like a question. What should I ask? What should I ask? Elia. Uh, I ask questions,
Okay.
short questions, sometimes stupid questions, and then Elio just gonna answer really quickly. Okay.
Okay.
All right. All right. Favorite color?
I don't have any. I am partially colorblind.
No, you're not. You can see my red shirt today. What about food? What is your favorite genre of food other than Czech food?
I don't even like Czech food.
Okay, no
I,
offense.
I exactly. I like fish, green salad.
Oh yeah, food. What is your favorite cuisine? Sorry.
Don't have any.
Oh, that's easy. That's
Yeah,
easy.
Whether
when I come to LA, that will be easy,
yeah, it
to
can be
go
Italian,
eat.
can
Yeah,
be
anything.
anything.
Yes. Okay. So, Elia, if you win a lottery tomorrow for $10 million, what will you do?
So easy. I will I will produce all this project I just mentioned.
Wow. Well, you've been living in so many different places, I would guess, right? Europe,
Mhm.
maybe you went to Japan, and maybe you're in New York. Yeah. If you had a choice, where would you like to, if you had a choice of living in four different cities within a year, every city you live for 3 months, which cities do you want to live?
Uh, Prague, New York, Stockholm, um, some Italian, maybe Rome, or
Rome.
Milan, or
Oh,
Milan, or
Milan.
Milan.
Yeah. Beautiful, beautiful choice. Yes. They're all very beautiful. Yeah. So now you are a composer, right? So when you drive your car, drive in the stuck traffic in fucking Los Angeles, what music do you listen to?
I have only two channels in my car on radio. I listen, and that's either NPR's news and USC classical channel. That's the only thing I'm listening.
Good.
So
So that's great. So you're a cellist.
no
What other
bass.
instrument?
I play
Sorry,
bass.
you're a bass player. Any other instrument do you play?
I played violin up to a few Suzuki books.
Oh yes, you're a
Yeah.
violinist too.
Well, I wouldn't. Maybe on the level of Venice Beach. Probably guitar, the same thing. I mean, I can get around, but you know, just too many instruments: percussion, drums, saxophone. I played cello, bass, violin. I mean, I didn't play viola actually.
You can, if you can play the violin, you can play the viola.
I can probably play viola, but I cannot read the
Oh,
autoclave.
autoclave.
That's just so
It's
difficult.
easy.
Yeah, I
You
know.
when you read autoclave, it's just a third position. Imagine you're playing third position on the violin. Think about
Okay.
that. Think about that. That's how I switch my when I play the viola. I still think that way, which is very screwy right now.
Okay.
Okay, so what else? I was gonna ask you. Now, what is the last book you read?
Last book I read.
Mm.
I'm still reading a book called Beethoven as I Knew Him. It's written by a musician who lived at the same time as Beethoven. He played violin in the second violin section, and it's a great book. Very different uh, from his historical information about Beethoven. It's about personal life. I love it.
Mm. Mm.
Before that, what I read. Tarkovsky's memoirs, Russian director.
Mhm.
Before that, I read John Irving, Until I Find You. Before that, uh, I read all the time.
Good for you. Good for you. Now, I was gonna say something. Oh yeah. So, this is a very social media world for young people, right? So, which platform do you play the most? So Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or whatever. So, which one do you do?
I have Facebook, and it's so I am connected through with people on Facebook. The
Facebook.
other ones I don't.
Okay. Yeah. It's like I have a 20-year-old son, and then he's like, "Oh, Facebook is for older people." And then I meet another 20-year-old. Oh, Facebook is for older people. And I was like, I still like Facebook.
Well,
So
it's I am connected with the people there.
uh,
with friends and
Mm.
musicians around the world. I think it works really good.
Yeah, yeah, and you can check them out, right? You can see
Yeah,
their posts, and you
yeah.
can find old actually people. You sometimes get lost, through the years. So great. All right. So last question. Oh, no, no, no. Before last question.
Okay.
Uh Elia, if I take you right now to a bar, what would you order?
Mai Tai.
Really? My eye is really strong, man.
Well,
Wow.
it's
Awesome.
a what is it? Cranberry and vodka or something like, or Jamaica
Maltai
rum.
is I thought it's a Chinese like rice wine. Maltai.
No, Mai Tai,
Oh, okay. Mai Tai.
Mai Tai
Oh, okay. Okay. That's different. Yeah. So last question, coffee or tea?
coffee. I'm European.
Yeah. Well, it's been great pleasure to talk with
Same.
you. Yeah.
Thank you
So
for
it's
having me. Thank you for
thank
having
you.
me.
Thank you for
Yeah.
talking with
And
me.
thank you for everyone who was watching and following our conversation.
Yes, thank you, our audience, for watching. So we're gonna end this session. So please catch on my talk show with different people, composer or politicians or specialists on every Wednesday, 4 p.m. New York time, and sometimes I do Monday too. So it depends. So please subscribe, and please also check Elio on his website and his name and everything. Everything is in the description below in this YouTube. Okay. All
Okay.
right. Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you for everyone. Goodbye.